Sun's out, great backdrop. This is AquaX. Welcome to Hull for round 3 of the AquaX Championship. This weekend it's the mighty Humber estuary under the shadow of its famous landmark bridge that'll be the proving ground for over 30 AquaX and aquaski riders. The tidal waters of the estuary can be a tricky place to navigate at the best of times, but when you've got a large fleet of committed racers all around you for 30 minutes of intense action, well, it's certainly not something for the faint-hearted. Last time out though in Gosport, the riders had plenty of opportunity to hone their skills in challenging conditions. Here's Georgie Barrett with a reminder.
Thanks, Kev. Stokes Bay in Gosport gave our riders some of the most arduous riding conditions we've ever seen. We started off bathed in sunshine on the Saturday, but that was soon followed by gusting winds and white-capped waters. Things got progressively worse from there, with Sunday seeing heavy rain and stormy conditions. It's unsurprising then that it was former double AquaX champion and 2 AquaX veterans that took to the top steps of the podium. In the 300 class, Russell Marmon took the overall win, battling hard all weekend with championship leader Phil Pope, who ultimately had to settle for second, trailing by just 4 points. Third place went to Chris Leach, who bagged an impressive first place in the opening race of the weekend, his first win as a 300 class rider.
Yeah, it was a tough race, really pleased with the first, never done it before, so obviously tough competition.
The 250 class was dominated by fellow Welshmen Richard Rowe and Damien Evans, who shared the wins over the weekend, with Rowe just edging in by 5 points.
Yeah, it was awesome, cracking out there, cracking conditions. The last race was really hard, so yeah, I'm happy to just finish that one and take the win. Championship
leader Adrian Wilson had to settle for third. In the 200 class, it was a repeat performance of the opening round in Scarborough for Dave Lee, who took an unbeatable 3 from 3 and extending his lead in the championship over rookie racer Lewis Royale to 18 points.
Yeah, repeat performance of Scarborough basically, 3 wins. 3 wins there, 3 wins here. What can I say?
Well, as you can see, the fans have flocked to the promenade to watch both the ski and sit-down classes, with the action taking place right here just in front of the marina. And many of those guys will be here to cheer on local riders Adrian Wilson and Harry Robinson, who Georgie caught up with earlier.
Adrian, this is your hometown, Hull, and what's it like riding out here?
Morning, Georgie. Hull, the Humber itself, it's can pick up a few issues from time to time, gets nice and smooth, calm. Can't really see anything because the water's just basically brown, and so the sandbanks, unfortunately, which we've had a few. But it all depends. If the wind changes and the tide's going out, it's going to certainly change conditions out there.
Amazing, and it's a really beautiful setting around here. Talk us through what we've got going on over here. The marina is sort of where it's all set up, isn't it?
Yeah, the marina's all where it's all set up. Things have drastically improved over the years. We've got a lot more nicer buildings come out now. There's certainly some investment going into the area. We've got the deep over there.
Yeah.
And, well, it's just basically getting better and better.
This is also your hometown. What's it like performing in front of your home crowd?
Well, you want to try and show yourself in front of everyone, but not too much. And it's I'm proud, obviously, to be able to race here. But the water, it's different to the sea. It's nice and flat, it's a bit like a lake, but later on it will not be like that.
Oh, really? The conditions do change out there?
Yeah, once these bursts have come out, it'll get really choppy, and that'll change the racing completely.
Ah, that's interesting. Is it nice to be? Is this your favourite course of all the courses?
Yeah, it is, because back up there is a bit of a zigzag, which is a bit like lake racing, so that's where you can overtake and get a couple of lapping on there as well, so I'm glad that's put in place.
And have you got some friends and family coming down to watch you today?
Yeah, I got my granddad, I've got people that go to my lake, I've got friends, it's busy with me today.
Okay, joining me now is Nick and Tom from the stand-up ski class. What's the difference between the stand-up to the main championship?
The main difference is obviously we're stood up the whole time, and the skis are generally a lot slower, lighter, and a shorter course, basically.
Okay, and Tom, can you be any age to do this?
Well, you've got to be 14 minimum.
Okay.
But, you know, it's open to any sort of ability and that sort of stuff, yeah.
And how did you guys first get into it?
Gave up motocross due injuries and then started with the jet skis.
Okay.
Yeah.
Pretty much the same.
Pretty much the same for you. And the fact that you're standing the whole time, that must get really tiring on the legs.
It does. We do a lot of training, obviously, in the gym and riding the ski. But yeah, you know, obviously the more you ride, the easier it gets.
Absolutely. And you say it is open to anyone, so even if you're quite new to standing up and jet skiing generally, you can still join in, can't you?
Yeah, there's obviously the amateur and then the elite. So obviously if you're new to it, you'll be an amateur. After the first season, then you'll move up to the elite.
And you guys are both in the elite class. Is it really competitive?
Yeah, it's quite competitive. Tom's my biggest rival, so...
Really? Have I got the biggest two rivals standing next to me? And how are you finding it? Friendly competition or serious competition between you two?
No, it's friendly. I mean, the good thing about it is everyone really gets on the track and off the track. There's no bitter... Obviously, we're rivals, but there's no bitterness between us, and
Yeah, still have good fun. Yeah. And when you're out on the water together, you say you're sort of you are each other's biggest competition. Does it get sort of quite heated? Do you like, really, come on, I want to beat you now?
It does, but then, you know, there's a mutual respect. You know, we're not going to do anything silly, and, you know, we obviously, you know, it is dangerous, so we take that into consideration, but overall, we just have fun.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for chatting, guys.
In the Aquacross Championship, all three classes run at the same time. So let's take a look at the course that the 200s, 250s and 300 horsepower machines and riders will be taking on 3 times this weekend.
So the riders are beginning to set up for the first race of the day. Duncan, it's always a mixture of sort of nervous and excitement at this point, isn't it?
It is, yeah. We've it's been quite a long morning for us, so we've obviously had to launch into the marina this morning, so we've all been craned in. So it's all come now, and it's been a lot of sitting about, but now it's like the last 5 minutes you can hear everything's getting really active and frenetic, and it's just like, oh, here we go, let's get out there. Yeah, it's great.
Adrenaline starts to come.
Yeah, definitely.
And how do you find Hull? Do you enjoy racing here?
Hull, I've raced every single year here. It's great. I come off massively the other year, which wasn't great, and I'll never forget that. But since then, I've got to grips with the crazy old ski a little bit. Although I did come off in Gosport the other week, but I'm fine. Not too much damage done, so I'm just ready to get back out again.
First race of the weekend. How are you feeling?
Yeah, excited to get out there and see what the Humber has in store.
I know. What do you think of the conditions? It's quite flat out there at the moment, isn't it?
Yeah, it looks flat, but it can be quite deceiving. Once you're out there, you know what it's going to be.
And who you got your eye on for competition this time?
I think all the guys are quite capable, and I mean, I wouldn't rule anyone out today.
And have you raced in Hull before? Is this your first time out there?
This will be my 3rd time in Hull.
Okay,
yeah.
And you find it is it sort of different in terms of ski conditions out there?
Yeah, it can be difficult because you get once the skis are gone wrong, once you got the wash coming off the wall, and obviously the tide, and there's no wind, but it can make a difference. Yeah.
Absolutely, beautiful day. Well, best of luck today. I hope it goes well. So the riders are just getting into the water. The crowds are along the marina. It's time for race 1.
The first P1 AquaX race is underway. Here they come as they scream across the Humber. The larger 300 class boats coming to the fore. One rider already making a break for it while the rest of the pack scrap away with one another. This is the stretch of the circuit where they get close up to the fans who are lined up along the side of the Humber, positioned by the marina. Conditions here on the river very different to those the riders experienced at the previous round on the Solent. 3 riders now breaking away from the rest of the field, with the race leader looking as if he's feeling the pressure as he constantly checks over both shoulders. And here they come into the turn. It's very, very close between all 3. The slightest mistake and gaps can be opened and closed, so full concentration required. The man leading is 51, Jim Goodchild, a former British, European and world stand-up ski champion, while back in third is 666 Russell Marmon. Goodchild maintaining his advantage over the man in second, and that is championship leader Phil Pope. Going strong in the 250 class is Adrian Wilson on 121. New race leader Russell Marmon has moved from third to first place and has pushed back both Goodchild and Pope. Coming up to the checkered flag. It's another win for Russell Marmon. So this is how they finish, with Dave Lee claiming the spoils in 200, with Adrian Wilson top in 250 and Russell Marmon making a late charge in 300.
So great wins there for Russell Marmon, Adrian Wilson and Dave Lee. Join us in part 2 and they'll be coming back to do it all again twice. Welcome back to day 2 here in Hull, where we've woken up to blue skies and brilliant sunshine. But I think, Georgie, it's fair to say the riders weren't really challenged with the conditions yesterday either. They had it quite nice out there.
They really did, compared to Gosport as well, which was absolutely manic, but still very exciting race. We had Jim Goodchild leading the way for a good 3 quarters, with Russell Marmon only just taking over him in the last 5 minutes. And Russell himself said that that was actually down to the fact that he's an endurance rider. Right. So we'll see if Jim gets his stamina up as the season progresses.
Well, Jim's an experienced rider, so if any man knows how to take a championship and win it to the end, he's the man to do it. And in the 250 class, it was local boy done good.
Absolutely. Adrian Wilson took the win, which we're delighted about, because it's always nice when you're performing in front of home crowds to get that podium position.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, business as usual from Dave Lee in the 200s. Brilliant. Thanks, Georgie. Well, that's what we're thinking this morning, but let's go and hear now then from the riders and hear what they had to say when Georgie caught up with them earlier.
Damien, how have you found it so far this week in Hull?
Oh, very flat water, not very challenging. Enjoying it all. Nice standing place and good racing. And
yeah, very different compared to Gosport.
Oh, totally different. I was in my comfort zone in Gosport.
Oh, really? You like it a bit rougher?
Yeah, a little bit, yeah. So it's a good race for people who are inexperienced, the rookies to come, and it's not too challenging to someone, I guess. So it's a bit of a mixture throughout the series, and that's what we want.
Adrian is currently top 250s in Hull at the moment. Is he at some advantage because this is his home turf?
Oh, everybody's cheering on. That's poor Welshman, myself and Richard. Nobody's cheering us on, but we'll go out there fighting.
Phil, you're currently world number 2. That's incredible. How important is the next couple of races to climb up to that first position?
Oh yeah, obviously I want to try and bring this back to the UK, because Eric Francis from the USA, he's had it a bit too long now. So yeah, I've just got to push hard and try and get some valuable points just to get me that little higher.
Absolutely. Do you know how far off you are from the world record?
I'm sure about 300 points, I think, which is not much.
Okay, so it's everything to play for. We would absolutely love to see a UK rider take that first place. So seriously, best of luck for the next few races, and we'll look forward to seeing if you can get there at the end of this weekend.
Thank you.
So the riders are heading out now for the second race of the weekend. Let's see if Phil Pope can clinch those all-important points to see if he can become the world number 1.
Race 2 gets underway. Similar conditions to yesterday. It was Jim Goodchild who took the whole shot then. The surface looks relatively flat from the rider's perspective. It's Jim Goodchild breaking away, just like he did in race 1. And it looks like he's trying to break them by getting away early. Goodchild also aware of how consistent Russell Marmon is over distance, so he may well be thinking the best thing is to build up such a lead that even when he eventually starts to tire, he will have an unassailable advantage to protect him from the likes of Marmon. Gaps already appearing, and similar ones throughout the field. But aquacross is just as much endurance as it is racing, so fitness is crucial to fight fatigue. '51 is Goodchild. Jim Goodchild still unable to shake off Russell Marmon. The race one winner looks to have the race leader right where he wants him. Here come the race leaders, still blazing a trail out front. That is Jim Goodchild still going strong, but will he hang on to the lead? All the classes mixed together, the 300s now lapping the lesser powerful machines. Jim Goodchild's plan looks to have worked. He takes the checkered flag and wins. Victories for Dave Lee and Richard Rowe in 200 and 250 respectively. And what a battle for honours it was in 300. It's back-to-back racing at Hull as the second heat of the day, the third of the weekend, fires into life. It's Jim Goodchild, who's the whole shot king once again. He knows, though, that he's got the whole of the aquacross cavalry following right on his tail. And with this race following so soon after the previous energy sapper, it will be the toughest of the lot this weekend. Goodchild's tactic of getting away from Marmon early on certainly helped earlier, but Marmon is sticking a lot closer this time in these early stages and not letting him go. That is Russell Marmon, over 20 years experience. And he will be using every ounce of knowledge he's ever learned about racing in his bid to pass Goodchild and take the victory. Speed and stamina are the key in this series, and Marmon certainly has both. It looks like they're side by side as they come along the straight, both men giving each other plenty of room. Marmon is on the throttle and powers ahead. So Russell Marmon in search of what would be his second victory this weekend, and with Phil Pope somewhat struggling, this will open the championship up even more. Since he hit the front, there's been no looking back for Russell Marmon. They're getting the checkered flag up and ready. And here he comes to make it 2 wins out of 3 this weekend. In the other classes, it's been a dominant performance for Dave Lee in the 200 category. There's been no stopping him, and it's the same for Adrian Wilson in 300.
So Dave, another great winning weekend for you, but you look like a tired man. It's quite tough out there on the Humber.
Yeah, I could. That first race, I couldn't seem to find any sort of continuity within the water. One buoy, it was sort of choppy. The next time you went round the same buoy, it was calm. It wasn't until the second and third race today that I started to feel comfortable out there.
So Adrian, it was your local race and you took the top step of the podium. It's a great result for you, but challenging conditions out there?
It wasn't challenging conditions as such. It was the fact that the Kawasaki's were back out. Richard Rowe really performed really well, and I've got a lot of work to do with the ski now just to make it good for Cardiff.
So Russell, great to see you back on the top step of the podium. A strong weekend for you.
Yeah, I was really surprised actually. So some very good riders here, and the return of Jim is always a tough nut to beat, always. So we got a lot of mutual respect for each other. We're the old guys of the series, really. So
I think it's fair to call Jim a veteran racer. We mean that in the nicest sense of the term. He's got so much experience under his belt.
He has, yeah. Same with me. I mean, he's more of a stand-up rider, you know, that's where he sort of cut his teeth, and I've just been doing this all the time. So he had a changeover in about 11 and came into this. So he's done amazing this weekend, really amazing.
Well, it's the end of the weekend, and 2 back-to-back races gave us some incredibly close action, but perhaps more importantly, Georgie, those all-important championship points for the winners.
Absolutely, where we saw Russell Marmon take the top step of the podium in the 300s class. An incredible competition between him and Jim Goodchild, though. This is Jim's first weekend of racing of this season, so it's amazing to see already he's up there winning races.
Yeah, man of his experience, though. You expect him to come out the blocks charging.
You'd expect
no Phil Pope, though, at the top of the standings this weekend.
It's interesting, isn't it? Because he's world number 2 at the moment, but we haven't really seen him perform that well in hell. Of course, there's always Cardiff, so you never know. He may pull it out the back there.
In the 200 class, it was all about Dave Lee.
Yes, it was. And in the 250s, it was great to see Adrian Wilson do so well in front of his home crowd. Good old Hull.
Well done. Brilliant stuff. Thanks, Georgie. So from here, we move to South Wales and Cardiff. It's on the August bank holiday weekend, and we'd love it if you could join us. But for now, from all of us here in Hull, see ya.
See ya.